It's now time for our special focus on the life of Nelson Mandela ahead of what will no doubt be a busy day filled with various activities to celebrate his birthday tomorrow. We start in New York, where Nelson Mandela's values of building a future where everyone can live in peace, prosperity and in harmony with nature remain principles central to what drives the United Nations every day. That's the word from senior officials at the global organization where Nelson Mandela International was birthed in the General Assembly almost 8 years ago. Hollywood star and UNICEF Goodwill ambassador Danny Glover will headline the official commemoration in New York on Tuesday.
Madiba, I love you so much. The greatest president of the world.
While it was the General Assembly at the UN that declared Nelson Mandela Day in November 2009, it was this concert, featuring some of the biggest names in music a few months earlier, that created all the buzz. The first UN Day named after an individual that is growing in popularity around the world.
Every year we see increased interest from our colleagues in the field and also here at headquarters of doing something on Nelson Mandela Day to actually represent the spirit and the meaning of what that day was about, public service and supporting the values that Nelson Mandela embraced.
This year, in partnership with the City of New York, the General Assembly will host the official commemoration with actor and activist Danny Glover as the keynote speaker. Officials and diplomats will later in the day head to Randall's Island, just north of Manhattan where we are, to clean the shoreline and work on an urban farm. And in a world of turmoil and suffering, a rapidly changing climate and a development agenda vast and growing, Mandela's values have never been more relevant.
Change can also start with us. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years, and when he came out, instead of being bitter and angry, he actually spoke about collaboration and openness and reaching out. And he embodies a vision that wants to build a future that is based on collaboration that supports what the United Nations supports.
Previous commemorations have featured old friends with words worth remembering.
First, you can't free anybody else, and you can't serve anybody else unless first you free yourself from bitterness and hatred and resentment and the paralysis they bring. Mandela walked out of prison after 27 years a greater man than he went in.
The United Nations has played its part in liberating the people of South Africa. Now you play an even more important role of keeping alive the values that Madiba has given us.
The UN just days ago launching the Fez Plan of Action with the world's religious leaders, an initiative to curb atrocities around the globe.
Mandela, thanks to his wisdom, thanks to his concern of managing diversity in the most constructive manner, decided to build a rainbow nation where there will be no white, no black, no Indian, no Christian, no animist, but simply South African. And that is why I am glad that in the course of this Mandela Day, around this period, we are launching this project, and I wish Mandela also continue to inspire the entire world, which is unfortunately a world where we need everybody, member state, civil society, everybody should join efforts.
Gone but not forgotten, and an example that lives on in all of us, 67 minutes at a time. Sherwin Riceby's SABC News, New York.